Hello everyone, welcome to the lecture series on digital electronics. It is a subject in third semester, Diploma ETCE. The course code is ETCE/DE/S3. Today we are going to start lecture number 20. I am Bolo Sridhar, Assistant Professor, Department of ECE, Guru Nanak Institute of Technology. So let us start lecture number 20. So our subject digital electronics consists of 60 number of lectures and the credit is 4. Now we are in unit 3, that is combination logic circuits. Unit 3 consists of 4 sub-units. First one is unit 3.1 arithmetic circuits. It consists of half adder, full adder, half subtractor, full subtractor, parallel and serial full adders. That is 1s complement, 2s complement and 9s complement addition. Next one is design of circuits using the universal gates. Unit 3.3 is code converter, encoder and decoder, multiplexer and demultiplexer. Unit 3.4 is parity generator and checker and the comparator. Now let us move on to the course objectives of this course. Now the student will be able to, first course objective is do the conversion of the number systems. Second is understand the concept of the logic gates and its operation. Third is design simple logic circuits using the logic gates. Fourth one is design of combinational circuit. Fifth one is design of sequential circuit. Sixth is gain the comprehensive idea on various memory devices. Seventh is understand analog to digital conversion and also digital to analog conversion techniques. Eighth one is understand different logic families and their comparison. Now, course objective 4 is in red color. Now, this is the course objective of this particular lecture, that is design of combinational circuit. As we are in unit 3, that is combination logic circuit. So, the course objective of this lecture number 20 is design of combination logic circuits. Now this slide is in short the lesson plan for this particular lecture, lecture number 20. So our subject is digital electronics. The course code is ETCE/DE/S3 and we are in unit 3, that is combination logic circuits. And we are studying sub-unit, that is arithmetic circuits, and in today's lecture we are going to study half subtractor, full subtractor and parallel and serial full adders. So here basically we will be studying half subtractor, full subtractor, serial full adder, parallel full adder and the parallel adder and subtractor circuits. These are in short the lecture plan of this particular lecture number 20. Now, let us start the first topic, that is the half subtractor. Before starting of the half subtractor topic, let us have a quick recap of the previous lectures. Now, starting from lecture number 1, we have studied about the different digital logic and the analog logic, that is the difference between the digital logic and the analog logic circuits and the disadvantages of the analog logic circuits and why we are studying the digital electronic subjects. That is the importance of the digital electronic subjects in the field of electronics. Next is we have studied about the number systems. In the number systems we have seen there are many number systems, including the decimal number system, binary number system, octal number system, hexadecimal number system, and also the conversion of one number system to the another. Next, we have studied about the logic gates. The logic gates, we have mainly studied about the basic gates, universal gates, and the XOR gates, and the XNOR gates, that is the exclusive gates. After the logic gates, we have studied about the Boolean algebra. In Boolean algebra, we have studied about different postulates and theorems like De Morgan's theorem. After that, we had seen how to minimize the expressions using the Boolean algebra and also using the logic gates. Next, we have done the K-map, that is 2 variable K-map, 3 variable K-map, 4 variable K-map, and also don't care conditions. So again, K-map was a minimization technique. After K-map, we have started the combinational circuit. That is, in the previous lecture we had studied about half adder and full adder. And we have also seen the differences between the combinational circuit and the sequential circuit. So today let us start the half subtractor. Now a half subtractor is a combinational circuit. It is used to perform subtraction of 2 bits. It has 2 inputs, X minuend and Y is subtrahend. And there are 2 outputs, difference that is denoted by capital D and borrow that is denoted by capital B. So half subtractor mainly consists of 2 inputs, X and Y, and 2 outputs, difference as D and borrow as B. Now this one is the block diagram or logic diagram of the half subtractor, where X and Y are the 2 inputs and D and B are the 2 outputs. And these are the inputs and the outputs. That is, this is the truth table, where X and Y are the 2 inputs and D and B are the 2 outputs. So there are 4 combinations in case of 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. Now we will see how the truth table works. So 0 minus 0, the difference is 0 and the borrow is also 0. Now 0 minus 1, difference is 1 and the borrow is 1. Next is 1 minus of 0. 1 minus of 0 gives the output difference as 1 and the borrow is 0. Next is 1 minus of 1. 1 minus of 1 means difference is 0 and the borrow is 0. So here in half adder we have seen there are 2 inputs and 2 outputs. 2 inputs are X and Y and 2 outputs are D and B. And we have seen the logic diagram and also the truth table. Now let us move to the Boolean expression. How to find the Boolean expression? Now see, this is the truth table where X and Y are the inputs and D and B are the outputs. So what is the expression of D? D is equal to X bar Y, this one, X bar Y plus of X Y bar, that is this one, X Y bar. Why? Because we have written this one, because there are 2 ones here and we will be writing the expression where there are ones. So this one means X bar Y and this one means X Y bar. So D is equal to X XOR of Y. This is the expression or the Boolean expression of difference, and B is equal to X bar Y. That is, here B is 1, it is X bar Y. So our Boolean expression is clear, where B is equal to X XOR of Y and B is equal to X bar of Y. So in the logic circuit, what we can say, there will be one XOR gate, as there is X bar, so there will be an inverter, and X bar dot of Y, there will be an AND gate. So this one is the circuit of, or the logic circuit of half subtractor, where X and Y are the 2 inputs, D is one output, that is difference, and B is the other output, that is the borrow. X XOR of Y, this one is the symbol of XOR gate, is D, and D is equal to X bar dot of Y. So X bar is going, it's going to inverter. Here it will be, just let us write here, it will be X bar here, because this is an inverter and the output will be X bar, and this one we are getting Y, and this is AND gate. This is AND gate, so it will be, here we can write as X bar Y. I hope this is clear. Now see, this one, this whole one is the logic circuit of half substructor. Please remember, in case of half substructor, there will be one XOR gate and one inverter followed by AND gate. This is the structure of half substructor. I hope this is clear to all of you. Now, next let us move to the next slide. After the half substructor, we are going to full substructor. So we will know more about the full substructor, how to design the full substructor. So full substructor can be designed using two half substructor and also using the AOI logic. So how to design it, we will see in the next slide. Now in full substructor, a full substructor is a combinational circuit. It is used to perform subtraction involving 3 bits, namely minuend bit, subtrahend bit, and the borrow from the previous stage. Now it is 3 inputs. X is the minuend, Y is the subtrahend, and B in. It is the borrow from the previous stage. And there are 2 outputs. Difference, it is denoted by D, and B out, it is the borrow out. That is the ultimate borrow or the output borrow. So here, this one is the logic diagram of a full substructor where there are 3 inputs. Here it is represented as A, B and B in. You can also represent as X, Y and B in, like this. X, Y and B in, and there are 2 outputs, D, that is the difference, and B out is the borrow out. So in half substructor there was 2 inputs and 2 outputs, but in full substructor there are 3 inputs and 2 outputs. 3 inputs means X, Y and borrow from the previous stage. So let us go to the next slide. So this is the truth table. This is the truth table of the full substructor where there are 3 inputs, A, B and B in, and there are 2 outputs, D and B out. Now let us see the combinations of the inputs and also the results of the outputs. So there are 8 combinations starting from 0 to 7, represented in 3 bits. So first is 0, 0, 0. In case of 0, 0, 0, the output of difference is 0 and B out is 0. 0, 0, 1, difference is 1 and the B out or the borrow is 1. Next is 0, 1, 0. The difference is 1 and the B out is also 1. How is it is coming? See, 0 minus 1 means difference will be 1 and there will be a borrow. This borrow is this one, 1, and 1 minus 0 is again 1. So next one is 0, 1, 1. So here also 0 minus 1 is 1 and 1 minus 1 is 0. So the ultimate difference answer is 0 and there was a borrow in this case. So this borrow is here, that is B out is equal to 1. Next is 1, 0, 0. The difference is 1 and the B out is 0. Next is 1 0 1. The difference is 0 and the B out is also 0. Next is 1 1 0. Next difference is 0 and the B out is 0. Next is 1 1 and 1. The difference is 1 and the B out is 1. Now from here we will find the Boolean expression of difference and the Boolean expression of B out. Now we have done the K-map here. So as there are 3 inputs, so it will be a 3 variable K-map. What will be the 3 variables? One is A, another is D and B in. So let us see the expression of D. So here we will put the values. This ones we will put this one, here, this one and this one. Let us mark them like this. This one, here this one, and we are taking this one. Sorry, we are taking as this one we will take. Now let us see this one. So this one is 0 0 1. So this combination is 0 0 1. It is 1 here. Again this one is 0 1 0. So this is this one 0 1 0. This is 1. Next is this one 1 0 0. So this one 1 0 0. We were putting 1 in this box. Next is this box 1 1 1. For 1 1 1 it is 1. So this is 1 1 and 1. So it is 1. So we are making the pairing like this. This one, this one, this one and this one. The pairings are done with circle. So T will be equal to A bar B bar B in plus of A B bar B in bar plus A bar B B in bar plus of A B B in. So next is the expression for B out. Next we will be considering this one. This one we will consider this one and this one. Now you see here, if we are doing the pairing like this, this one will be one pairing, this one will be one pairing and this one will be one pairing. So there will be 3 pairings. So B out we can write that it is A bar B in plus A bar B plus B B in. So these two are the expressions of, this one is the expression of difference, that is D is equal to A bar B bar B in plus of A B bar B in bar plus A bar B B in bar plus A B B in, and B out is equal to A bar B in plus of A bar B plus of B B in. So next we will draw the logic circuit using these 2 output expressions of D and B out. Let us draw it. Now here we are using this one A, B and B in. Now look at the previous slide. This D is nothing but, you can write this one as like this. D is equal to A XOR of, just wait. Now write just like this. You can write it like this, that D is equal to A XOR of B XOR of B in. You can write it like this. This is the expression, that is D is equal to A XOR of B XOR of B in. So we will go to the next slide where we will be drawing the logic circuit here. So A, B, D in, there is a XOR. So we are getting the difference D. Now from here A bar is coming. So from here what we will be getting, just write like this. Here we are using one inverter. and there are some AND gates, and there is a OR gate. From here, what we will be getting, it is A bar B in, we are getting. Next, from here, we are getting A bar B, and from here we are getting B dot of B in. So this one is OR gate. So this one, everything will be plus. So B out we can write as A bar B in plus of A bar B plus of B in. So ultimately we have got the logic circuit of the full substructure, where we can see there are two outputs, difference and B out. Now let us move to the next slide. That is, we will be implementing full substructure circuit using two half substructures. Now see, this is the block diagram or the logic circuit of the full substructure using two half substructures, where there are three inputs A, B and B in, and there is two outputs D and B out. So here we are using two half substructure. This is one half substructure and another half substructure, and there we are using a OR gate. So we can design or implement a full substructure using two half substructures and one OR gate. So let us see how to implement it. Now this is the truth table of the full substructure. Already it is explained how we are getting the difference and the B out. And there are three inputs A, B and B in, and there are two outputs D and B out. So we will be finding the difference, that is D, and the B out. So just write the expressions where the value is 1. This one is 1 here. This one is A bar, B in. Now this one, we will take 4 values of 1. This one, this and this. So just write difference is equal to A bar, B in plus of A bar, B in bar plus of A, B in bar plus of A, B in. It is equal to, we are taking B in as common from here and here. So this one will be A bar, B plus of AB, plus from these two expressions we are taking B in bar as common. So here we will be getting A bar B, A B bar plus of A bar B. Sorry. So here we are getting B in. This one is nothing but A x naught of B. And this one is plus of B in bar A XOR of B. So this one we can write it like this, that B in, it is equal to, this one is equal to A XOR of B bar. So if this is bar, it will be giving A x naught of B only. That is, XOR followed by an inverter gives the gate as x naught. So again this one is plus B in bar A XOR of B. So here what we can write ultimately, that this is B in XOR of A XOR of B. If we are rearranging these terms in case of A, B and B in, so we can write it like this, that A XOR of B XOR of B in. Now this is the ultimate expression of difference. Next we will be finding the expression of B out. Here we will consider this ones, this one, this one, this one and this one. And we will be writing the corresponding values of A, B and B in. So just write B out is equal to A bar, B in plus of A bar, B in bar plus of A bar, B in. Next is A, B in. So from here, if we are taking B in as common, from here and here, these two expressions, we are getting AB plus of A bar, B bar. Next, from these two expressions we are taking a bar b as common. So from here we can write it is b in plus of b in bar. So b in plus of b in bar is nothing but equal to, this is nothing but equal to 1. So what we can write, that is b in a XNOR of b plus of a bar b. Now again what we can write from this expression, that it is b in a XOR of b bar plus of a bar b. So ultimately we have got this difference, that is a XOR of b in, and b out is equal to b in a XOR of b whole bar plus of a bar b. So we will be drawing the circuit. Next is drawing the circuit, that is implementing full subtractor using two half subtractors. Just we will see how to draw the circuit. That is the logic circuit. So this one we are drawing it like this. So this is nothing but one, or the first half subtractor, another, this one is the second half subtractor. And I had already told you that when there is a half subtractor, there will be one XOR gate, one AND gate, and one inverter. Again similarly there is one XOR gate, one AND gate, and one inverter. And this one is D. So what is D? D is A XOR of B. From here we are getting A XOR of B. Let us write here A XOR of B and from here again B in is coming. So here we are getting D is equal to A XOR of B XOR of B in. Next is this one. From here what we are getting, as see the expression is like this. Just let us go to the previous slide. Here it was, what was the expression? It was B out was equal to, this B out was equal to B in A XOR of B whole bar plus of A bar B. Now we will see how to draw the circuit. Now see, from here we are getting this one as A bar of B. This is coming. This is nothing but A bar of B. Now just write it A bar of B. And this one is nothing but B in into A XOR of B whole bar. So here ultimately we are getting this as B out is equal to B in into A XOR of B bar plus of A bar B. So this is the circuit for implementing full subtractor using two half subtractors. Whenever in semester exam it will be told you that implement a full subtractor circuit, then you can draw this previous circuit. Let me again show you which one you can draw like this. You can draw this circuit. But if you are told to draw or to implement full subtractor using two half subtractors, then you have to draw this one. And see, already I told you that the implementation will be, there will be two half subtractors and one OR gate. So there is one half subtractor, that is the first half subtractor, this one is the second half subtractor, and these two are added with one OR gate. So there is one OR gate. So this is the implementation of full subtractor using two half subtractors and a OR gate. So I hope this is clear to all. So the next one is the serial binary adder. So what is a serial binary adder? A serial binary adder is a digital circuit that performs addition bit by bit. The simplest serial binary adder is a full adder circuit. Now there are two shift registers that are used to store the binary numbers that are to be added. A single full adder is used to add one pair of the bits at a time along with the carry. The carry output from the full adder is applied to the D flip-flop. After that, output is used as carry for the next significant bit. Next is the sum bit from the output of the full adder can be transferred to the third shift register. Now this is the block diagram of the serial binary adder. Here you can see that we have two shift registers. This one is one full adder and this one is a D flip-flop and this one is an AND gate. Now let us look at the shift registers. Shift register is a group of flip-flops used to store multiple bits of data. There are two shift registers used in serial binary adder. In one shift register, augment is added and another shift register, addend is stored. That is, A and B are stored. Next is the full adder. The full adder, as you already know, is the combinational circuit that takes three inputs. These are the three inputs. And the two outputs are sum and the carry. The circuit adds one pair at a time with the help of the full adder. Now this D flip-flop. The D flip-flop, here the carry output from the full adder is applied. This carry output is applied. Further, the output of the flip-flop is used as the carry input for the next pair of the significant bit. This is used as the carry. Next is the working process. So let us start with step number 1. Two shift registers A and B are used to store the numbers to be added. A single full adder is used to add one pair of at a time along with the carry. The contents of the shift registers shift from left to right and their output starting from A and B are fed into the single full adder along with the output of the carry flip-flop among application of the each clock pulse. Next is step number 4. The sum output of the full adder is fed to the most significant bit of the shift register or the MSB of the sum register. Next is the content of the sum register is also shifted right when the clock pulse is applied. After applying 4 clock pulse, addition of 2 registers A and B contents are stored in the sum registers. So this one was in short the working process of the serial binary adder. I hope this is clear to all of you. So let us move to the next slide, that is parallel binary adder. Now see this one. Suppose we want to add two n-bit binary numbers by means of full adder. How we can do it? We can do it in two ways. First one is using serial binary addition and another one is in parallel binary addition. In case of parallel binary addition, when two n-bits binary numbers are to be added, the number of full adders required will be equal to the number of bits n in each number. So here suppose we want to add this one. These are two 4-bit numbers, that is A3, A2, A1 and A0 is one number where the number is 1101. Another one is B3, B2, B1 and B0 where the number is 0101. So as I had already told, we can do it serially. Now this one is showing the serial addition. Now see, this is A0, B0 and C in. The first case, C in will be equal to 0 because we don't have any carry. So it is 1 plus 1 plus 0. That is S0 is equal to 0 and C out will be equal to 1. This one corresponds to the least significant bit or the stage. Now this C out will be coming here as the carry from the previous stage. So this is 0, 0 and 1. So it is again output is 1 and 0. Next, again this 0 will be going as the carry from the previous state. So it is 1, 1 and 0. So it is again the result is 0 and 1. Again this one is coming here as the carry. So this one is 1, 0 and 1. So the ultimate answer is 0 and 1. So when you are getting the sum will be like this. This is the most significant bit, that is 0, 0, 1, 0, and the carry is this one. So the sum is 0, 0, 1, 0. So what we can say, this one is serial addition because it takes one adder at a time. But this is more troublesome and it requires more hardware. So for this, we will design a parallel binary adder, where, as I had already told you, when we are adding two n-bit binary numbers, that two binary numbers are to be added, the number of full adders required will be equal to the number of bits in each number. So this one is this two numbers are two 4-bit numbers. So we will be requiring 4 full adders. So let us see how to design the parallel binary adder. This one is designing of the parallel binary adders. Here all these are the parallel inputs and these are the parallel outputs. So as I had already told you that this one is the first full adder, second full adder, third full adder and the fourth full adder. Here the full adders are named as FA0, FA1, FA2 and FA3. Now what was the number of the bits? There are two numbers, A3, A2, A1 and A0, and another number is B3, B2, B1 and B0. So there each of the number is 4 bits. So the number of full adders will be 4. So in the first case, the carry is 0. So I have connected it to ground, or we have connected Cin to ground. So the output of this full adder is S0 and Cout. Now Cout will be going as the carry in the next full adder. This is Cin again. So this is A1, B1 and Cin. So the output here is S1 and this is the Cout. Now this Cout will be going as the Cin in the next full adder. And there are two inputs, A2 and B2. So this is the output, it is S2. Next is this Cout is going as the carry in the next full adder, that is FA3, and there are two inputs, A3, B3, and the ultimate output is S, that is S3, and this one is the Cout. This is the ultimate carry. So here we are getting the sum, that is this one is the MSB. Let us write here, this one is the MSB, this S3 is the MSB. You already know what is MSB. MSB is nothing but most significant bit, and this one S0, it is the LSB. So while we are writing the sum, we will be writing S3, then S2, then S1 and S0. This one is the ultimate sum of the two numbers, where the two numbers were A3, A2, A1 and A0 was the first number, that is 1101, and second number 1, and the second number 1 was B3, B2, B1 and B0, that is 0101, and ultimately the sum we have got is S3, S2, S1 and S0, that is 0010. So I hope this is clear to all of you. Next is, as we have designed 4-bit parallel binary adder, we want to design a circuit where there will be addition also and subtraction also. How to design it? Let us see. Now, before designing it, there are few questions that should be coming in your mind. Suppose there is a subtraction like this, A minus B is there. How to do it? That is, Suppose A is the subtrahend and B is the minuend. So how to do this? So first let us see how we are doing it. So first we will be finding the 1s complement of this B. 1s complement of B means this one will be B bar. Okay, I hope this is clear, because already you know 1s complement. Now if you do plus 1 with this B bar, then we will be getting the 2s complement. Now ultimately what happens when we are finding the 2s complement? So ultimately this subtraction becomes a addition. This subtraction becomes a addition. So we can see that if you want to design a circuit that performs addition also, subtraction also, here we have to use this concept that 1s complement and 2s complement of a number. That is 1s complement and 2s complement of the minuend. And already you know that how to find the 1s complement. That is basically we will be doing the complement. That is, suppose there is a number like this. Suppose writing there is a number B3, B2, B1 and B0 like this. This is one number, and another number is like this. This is A3, this is A2 and A1 and A0, and there is a subtraction like this. You have to do the subtraction. How you will be doing? You have to find the 1s complement. Now what is the meaning of 1s complement? If you are doing the 1s complement means each of this will become like this. This one will become B3 bar, this one will become B2 bar, and this one will become B1 bar and B0 bar. Now we are doing plus 1 with the LSB. Already you know this, how to find the 2s complement. So this one will be the 2s complement. The result will be the 2s complement. So this ultimate subtraction has become an addition. So we have to see which gate you can use where both this, we can find the 1s complement also, and we can also get the ultimate number or the ultimate input. So let us see how to do it. See, there is a concept called the control inverter. Already you have studied this in the XOR gate. Now see, suppose if the control input is M, so this is the XOR gate. This is the XOR gate, and there are two inputs, M and A, but M is the control input, okay, and Y is the output. So if M is equal to 0, see, if M is equal to 0, then what we will get in Y? Y, this is Y, 0. So Y will be equal to A. Mainly there are two cases. See, there are two cases. This is the first case and the second case. When M is equal to 0. So this is M is equal to 0. So Y will be equal to A. That is, the value of Y is 0 here. It is equal to 0 only. This is the value of A is also 0. So we can write A is equal to Y, or Y is equal to A. Similarly, this case here, suppose M is equal to 0. This one, this case. So what we can see that Y is equal to M. That is 1 is equal to 1. So we can write that this is true. When M is equal to 0, we can get Y is equal to A. Now let us see these cases. Again, when M is equal to 1. So again, there will be two cases, this one and this one. Okay, when M is equal to 1, so what we can see? Y is equal to A bar. So this one, this case. That is, when M is equal to 1, this case, and M is equal to 1, this case. these two cases. Just look here. These two cases, this case and this case, when m is equal to 1. Okay. Then y is equal to a bar. Similarly, y is equal to a bar. So what we can say that XOR gate, when m, one of the input is a control input, suppose we have considered m as one control input, this input, if it is equal to 0, then in y we will be getting this a as the output, and if it is 1, we will be getting y is equal to a bar. So XOR gate can be used as a control inverter, and this particular property of the XOR gate will be used to design the parallel adder subtractor, where in a circuit we can both do the addition and also the subtraction. And also in the previous slides we have seen and we have explained that whenever there is a minus b, we have to do it. Then what we can do, we can take the minuend and we can do the 1s complement and the 2s complement and find the ultimate the result, where it is nothing but subtraction changes to addition. So we will be applying this in the next slide. Next, we were moving to the next slide, that is the 4-bit parallel adder subtractor. This is the circuit. So in this circuit, there are 4 full adders, first full adder, second full adder, third full adder, and the fourth full adder. And also there are 4 XOR gates. This is one XOR gate, second, third, and fourth. Now, this one K is the control input, which will control the whole circuit. This K is connected to C, the C in. This K is also connected to one of the inputs of the XOR gate, and the other is B0. Similarly, this is also connected here to the second XOR gate, and the other input is B1. Similarly, it is again connected to this XOR gate, and the other input is B2. Again, this K is also connected here, this last XOR gate, and the other input is B3. Now see, in this full adder, this is one input A0, and the output of XOR gate is the input in case of the full adder. This follows in all the full adders. Now from this full adder, we are getting S0 as the output. Again, this S1, S2, and S3, and the ultimate C out is the carry. And this C0 is going as the carry. Again, this output carry is going as the carry here, and again this C2 is going as the carry, and ultimately we are getting the C out. Now let us see how this circuit operates. Now suppose first case, there will be 2 cases. First case is when K is equal to 0. Listen carefully because this circuit is very important. Now when K is equal to 0, see this K is going, let us write here, when K is equal to 0 here, 0 is going here, so this C in is equal to 0, first case. Okay. Now here as 0 is going here, again we are getting 0 here, we are getting 0, that is this input is equal to 0. Now already in the previous slide we have seen that when one of the input of an XOR gate is 0, then output will be the true value of the other input. So the output will be, this output will be equal to B0, and what will be this one? B1, that is the true value of the second input. Again this one will be B2, and this one will be B3. So here we are getting B0, B1, B2, and B3, and other inputs are A0, A1, A2, and A3. So in this full adder, first C in is equal to 0. So here addition operation will be going on. That is, we will be getting S0, S1, S2, and S3, and ultimately C out. So when K will be equal to 0, then addition operation will be going on in this circuit, in this whole circuit. That is the, as this one is a 4-bit parallel adder subtractor circuit. As I had already told you that this circuit will also perform addition also, and also it will be performing subtraction. So here when k is equal to 0, this circuit is performing addition operation. Next see when k will be equal to 1. Now again let us write k is equal to 1. So here this one is going here. This one will be, this input will be equal to 1 in case of XOR gate. Similarly this one will be 1. Again this one is 1 and this one is also 1. Now see again, as this is 1, so here in C in we will be getting 1. Now look here. Now in the previous slide again it was explained that when one of the inputs of XOR gate is 1, that is high, then output is the complement of the other input. So this one will be, output will be B0 bar, as this is 1. Similarly it will be B1 bar. Similarly this one will be equal to B2 bar, and this one will be equal to B3 bar. So ultimately you can see that this is nothing but 1 is complement. And now as this is plus 1, so as this is a full adder circuit, so this is A0, B0 bar, and this is 1. So ultimately you can write it like this, that is, suppose this is like this is B3 bar, B2 bar, and this is B1 bar and B0 bar, and this is, there is a plus 1, as this is a least significant bit. This one it will be plus with this full adder only, as this full adder, this is the least significant bit. So this one we are getting nothing but the 2s complement. As I had already told you that 2s complement means, again this is nothing but addition only. So what we can see that here we are getting, so here we will be getting again S0, S1, S2, S3. But in this case, subtraction operation is going on. So when k will be equal to 1, subtraction operation is going on. How? First of all, 1s complement. This is the 1s complement. That is all the inverts or the inverters. That is B0 is converted to B0 bar, B1 is converted to B1 bar, B2 is converted to B2 bar and B3 bar, and plus 1 with the least significant bit. So when we are doing the plus 1 with the least significant bit, it becomes 2s complement of the number. So it is nothing but again addition. That is, when k is equal to 1, we are doing the subtraction operation in this 4-bit parallel adder subtractor circuit. So you can see that this particular circuit acts as an adder also, subtractor also. And when it is acts as an adder, when this control input k is equal to 0, and it acts as subtractor when k is equal to 1. So this particular circuit can be used as adder also and subtractor also. I hope this is clear to all of you. So thank you all of you for listening, and hope we will again be back with another lecture of this lecture series in digital electronics. Thank you all.